All right, well, we're back for the discussion of The Gallows, and if you watched our review, we were kind of about it. It's not as horrendous as most jump scare horror movies are. It does have a fairly interesting plot. The mystery part of it's interesting. It kept my attention. I did just wait for Brian to die because he was obnoxious.
Yeah.
That character was freaking obnoxious.
Yeah, and it kind of speaks to the shallowness of the characters that I had to think about who you were referring to.
There's 2 guys in the movie and 2 girls in the movie.
And I'm just like, well, which one? It was... the characters were terrible. None of them were really redeemable at all. You didn't root for anybody except for the one girl who you pretty much know from the word go that she's involved with it somehow.
Yeah, I mean, I think it takes a little while to figure out that she's part of it, but and I think that the actors are fine. The performances are fine. It's just these characters were written in this terrible way. Like, I mean, particularly the guy that's like narrating the first act of the movie. You just hate him. You hate him immediately, and it never stops. Like, he does a couple of things that are funny, but it's always like, yeah, he's got to go. He's got to die. And then he's the first to die. So it's like, okay, well, the character we spent the most time with is now dead. And these 3 other, like, undeveloped, stereotypical characters are going to be our leads for the rest of the movie.
Yeah. In going back to what you were talking about, it takes a little while. I'm a huge fan of horror movies. And just going off horror movie tropes, 5 minutes in, I was like, she's involved somehow. I didn't know how until later in the film.
Sure.
But I knew from jump that she was the one.
Yeah, something was going on because she was... You get the impression that she was like part of the reason why they're doing that particular play.
Oh, yeah.
Which...
Yeah. They make no bones about it, like right off the bat. She's the reason that it went before the school board, all that stuff.
Right.
And they just pass it off as, oh, well, she's a drama geek. But anybody that knows horror movies is going to pick up on it like that.
Sure. Yeah, you don't know how involved she is, but you know there's something wrong. And the movie tries to throw you to the girlfriend character as sort of the red herring for the running time of the movie. You think she's the one behind all of this stuff because they show her and they make a point of revealing about halfway through the movie that she's the girlfriend. Yeah. Maybe a little less than that, but yeah.
it had some very interesting ideas. The showing, they would show a scene, and then they would go back and immediately show that scene again from another perspective.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really interesting, if not very well done.
Sure.
Because one thing they don't explain, they go into this school with one camera and like 2 phones, and one of the phones are dead.
Yeah, but the phones randomly start working again. And there are a couple of spots that are just sort of magic.
Yeah, like they all of a sudden have another camcorder. And then at the very end, their camera is working again because they've got the light. Where is that coming from?
Yeah, there was a weird thing that happened where the light went out because the battery was low. And then the light comes back on 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later. And as the camera comes back on, you hear them say, you know, I got the new battery in, it's working, kind of thing.
I guess I missed that.
But the other thing that you might have missed is that when when they're switching batteries earlier, all of the extra batteries Ryan has in his jacket. So once he's gone, there's no batteries left, and he was long gone by that point.
Yeah.
He was long gone by that point.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the continuity or, lack of actual found footage in the movie it's hard to hold it to that standard. Because it also does a lot of things where, like, even the very opening scene, when they open up with the, VHS footage of the kid getting hung at the beginning of the play, and it's all, the audio sounds like it's from a tape machine until the gallows fall, and then there's, a thud, this subtone theater thud, the jump scare thud, and it's oh, I guess that's a really killer VHS setup you got there.
No doubt. Another thing that killed me was they present this at the beginning before the movie, or as the movie's starting. They present this entire movie like it's video evidence collected by the police.
And then the police die at the end.
But how did they get the phone videos? Because the phones end up broken in a couple scenes.
Except they work. They come back on.
Well, Ryan's phone is completely smashed in one scene, and then later it's fine. It's got a cracked screen.
Yeah.
But when he finds it, when they finally get in there and Ryan's gone, it's completely smashed.
Right. No, you're right. You're right.
It's very, very strange.
Yeah. No, they only work when it's convenient for the plot and for getting the angle of the shot they need to get. So, yeah, found footage, good stuff.
Yeah. It works in theory, but not so well in practice.
Yeah.
But we got this nice note.
That is the Gallows. If you like the way we do these, please like the video, subscribe, check out all the written and video reviews at dalemaxfield.com, and thanks for watching.